Do I dare do a Hassan Piker reference for my intro?
Yes.
Nah.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Nitai. Been a while, and I'm joined tonight by none other than our senpai, Alex.
Joda, place.
Oh no.
Where's this?
Yes, Daddy.
Where's this shock collar?
That's
We
charging
can't.
right now.
I'm sorry. We can't get into this again. I'll start laughing.
And also we have our not a Florida resident, apparently, Chinoda.
Thank God, because you see the crazy shit that goes in Florida? I'm happy I'm not there. Fucking gravity shifting and all that. Crazy prison breaks.
Just the humidity will get the best of you. Like, I'm
And
sorry.
you know firsthand, don't you?
And
I
that I
do.
got shed on by my own dad for fucking, like, you grew up in the desert. How does humidity affect you? I don't know, Dad. Just like it affects every other human being.
Unless you were
Sheesh.
born here. I mean, you got the skill issue. I was born here. It's like,
I guess it was not a good idea to drink nothing but wine at Disney World in that humidity.
You merely adopted the humidity. I was born into it. Molded by it.
molded by the humidity. Literally mold. Mold's
Yeah,
gross
literally
on my
mold.
skin.
Oh God.
Florida
thanks.
jokes.
Speaking of Florida,
I mean,
today-
listen, we're talking about JoJo's Part 6. There's a literal Florida man here to talk about it.
I'm actually I'm really happy that today we're talking about JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean, the final forecast for the JoJo series. We finally made it, boys.
Well,
let's
until
go.
Part 7 comes out, I'm sure we'll
7
talk
comes
about
out.
it.
Until Part 7 comes out. And yeah, we actually have our own Florida man, our own JoJo Florida man on deck. So I'm really pumped to hear all the Florida references and tidbits.
This is also the first JoJo's part where I read the manga before watching the anime.
Oh, so you got that previous
So
experience.
I knew what was happening before the anime aired, yeah.
There's a lot to talk about the anime, and I have a sneaky suspicion that we will talk more about the production of this part compared to the others. But we'll get to it
I
in a
want
bit.
to.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a bit. But first, like, just a few things to get through that I do want to talk beforehand. So just more of the dry details. So the original manga for Part 6, Stone Ocean, was released between December 1999 and April 2003.
Old as fuck.
And
Excuse me.
yeah, and this would be the last part to be completely released on a weekly basis. Part 7 was turned into a monthly manga, like kind of in the beginning of it, if I'm not mistaken. But so Part 6
and
is
it moved from Shonen Jump to Ultra Jump.
yeah, so with Part 6 is the final one that, like, from beginning to end was released on a weekly schedule.
And now he releases new chapters whenever he feels like it.
I mean, good for him. You know, he earned
Good
his
for
pay.
him, yeah.
Yeah, he deserves it. The releasing of Part 6, the anime adaptation. By the way, also, this episode will be a bit drier on production notes because there are just not a whole lot of interviews that, like, were done because it's a fairly newer part, like, at least from what I've seen, also looking through JoJo Wiki. But so just to quickly run through more of the technical details. So this one was co-directed by Toshiyuki Kato and Kenichi Suzuki, who also were part of the teams for the previous part. And character designs done by both Masanori Shino and Kei Tsuchiya, with Shunichi Ishimoto being the stand character designer. He was also a stand character designer for Part 5 as well. That's like the dry part. Also, music was done by Yugo Kano. We'll talk about the OPs. The GOAT. You know what? Let's tackle the OP and ED and then talk about, like, the big elephant in the room when it comes to Part 6. Because I think there's a lot of really good stuff here to fucking gush about. So for the beginning half of the show, the first OP, Stone Ocean, by Ichigo from Kishina Kyodan and the Akeboshi Rockets. That's a mouthful, but if you've seen High School of the Dead, you probably know that name because
Yes.
Akeboshi Rockets were the band behind that OP. This OP, also, both OPs were done by Kamikaze Doga. They've returned in all their CG glory.
And let me tell you
Go,
something.
go.
It shows. It 100% shows.
Probably in my top 3 OPs of the entire series.
Which one?
The first one,
The
Stone
first one,
Ocean.
the second one. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
We'll get to
like
the
Stone
second one
Ocean.
in a bit.
Do you know what the visuals remind me of, and especially the color palette reminds me of? It
Another
reminds
part?
me of a cutscene from Borderlands.
I
I
love
can
the
see
shading
that.
in this. Yeah, I love the shading in this OP. Yeah,
The cell shaded, yeah.
It looks like a cell shaded Borderlands cutscene.
it's gorgeous. It's also
Not
like
Borderlands 3 though.
We don't talk about Borderlands 3. That game doesn't exist. It's also like the transition, near the halfway point. There's like this transition between all the scenes that are like taking place throughout that section of the story, with like these beautiful, like almost like diagrams that like go like the camera like pans around these like frozen in time moments from these like batch of episodes, and they're so beautiful, so gorgeous, so many cool like hints and also like really cool Easter eggs, like freaking in that shot of like seeing the entire like gang in the like hidden room. You have like so many small details, like Erina's doll from part 1 is there, which is sick.
Yep.
Like you have Dio's like the sign he uses to like fight Jotaro from part 3. There's so much cool shit in that OP.
Little bits and details thrown in there, which so cool, so freaking cool.
Also, if you think about it, the way that the time sort of stops when it does the camera pan around, it's sort of hinting at what Made in Heaven is about.
To some extent, I don't like that's definitely like a reading into it that like I can get that.
I look at it like, because when I first saw it, I'm like, this must be how Pucci sees everything when Made in Heaven is activated. Everyone's moving so slow compared to him.
Yeah, that too. I think my favorite like sort of visual storytelling is because during the second core, and the OP changes at the end. So at first, like you see the Jolyne, like with Jotaro turning like his back turned to her, and she's walking away from him because she's like kind of, what is this shit that you like? I'm fucking thrown into it. Like I got nothing to do with this legacy
God,
of
Dad.
yours. Yeah, God, Dad, stop it with your gay vampires, Dad. And then, like, when you get to the second core, she embraces her dad because she embraces her own the legacy of her dad, and she embraces her fate as a Joestar. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And the song is a banger.
Stone Ocean is a good song.
Yo, it's a damn good song. I didn't skip it a lot of times. Most of the time, as it was playing, I was just like, this is good. This is real good.
Any song that starts with a drum solo is a great fucking song, okay?
Good. And the vocal performance is amazing. Like this song, like on its own, every time I hear it, I'm like, that's a Jolyne song if I've ever heard one. It sounds like a song Jolyne would probably put on the radio.
Yeah.
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 Great. It's great. It's a banger of a tune. The visuals are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Like I can gush about this OP all day. It's phenomenal.
Yep.
And the
second OP.
Second OP, Heaven's Falling Down, is another banger if I may add. So this one done by Sana from Sajo no Hana, and she, if you might know her from the Mob Psycho series of series of OPs. I love her vocals so much. She sounds so dramatic and like almost operatic with her delivery. I love the way she sounds, and the visuals are also like really really nice, and like they're also like really exhilarating. I love like the first, like for the most of the run, when it cuts to the ending of like of Jolyne running the ocean towards Pucci, and she has like the fire in her eyes, and it's like a really fun callback to the first OP from Phantom Blood with Jonathan also running up the stairs with the fire in her eyes. It's like great callback.
Speaking of callbacks to the first OP,
Oh?
when we get to the end and we got, I guess you would call it the villain version of this
The
this
Made in
OP,
Heaven version, yeah.
where
Yeah.
the Made in Heaven version where it reverts to the first OP's visuals.
It's such a trope now, but God, I love it. It was so cool when that happened.
Full circle, bro. They full circled this series. It's crazy. I love that version.
I was reading something that someone said where they were giving like their interpretation of it, because in a lot of the other JoJo OPs, when it gets to this point, it's the villain that takes over the OP. In this one, it almost frames it as if Jotaro takes over the OP.
No, Jotaro tries to, but then Pucci fucking.
But it's
Made in
seen from
Heaven's
seen from his perspective.
Oh, okay. I could get behind that. It's like from Jotaro's
Where
perspective,
as the other
yeah.
times when this is done, it's seen from the villain's perspective. Except for part 5. Except for part 5, when in the very last episode, Giorno takes back
over
the OP.
Yeah, it's also really cool, like the way. Apparently, like I was going back through that OP, and apparently the manga panels they use for each JoJo are different from the one that you did for the first OP in Phantom Blood, which was really fucking sick. Like the dedication Kamikaze Doga of showing this franchise is amazing. It was like
I would argue the only thing I would argue that could have made that aspect of it a little better is if they had inserted manga like panels from parts 7, 8, and 9.
But it's like a
because it would have
universe.
previewed what was coming. It would have previewed what was coming.
It's a different universe. I don't know if like you want this.
I don't think that would work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like because we know that a part 7 adaptation is coming and it's on the horizon now. It's closer.
We just
now
didn't know back then, right?
That's true. We didn't know back that we suspected. Let's be honest. We highly suspected. I think that would have been a subtle nod to like, hey, this is what's coming.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's really nice. I just love the way they kept it like very full circle. The way with this like new iteration of the OP.
It makes it feel, especially since you only really see it in I think it's the final episode is the only time you see it, or maybe it's the next.
It's the final episode. It's only the final.
Yeah,
episode.
it's okay. It's only the final episode. It definitely makes it feel full circle because, like, in the first OP, Jolyne appears in that first OP.
Yeah, she appears in the first OP. Like she's the first thing you see. She's the freaking first thing you see in the entire show. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it goes backwards, and this time it goes forwards.
Yeah, but in the first OP it goes backwards because like the whole theme of that OP is how like
there's a legacy.
Yeah, like the legacy represents Jonathan. So every time like things are moving like back in time, it's like the OP is on his side when they're moving forward in time, it's Dio's side. So like there's like a back and forth there. But for this one, it makes perfect sense because then it cuts to Jolyne in that tower from the first OP. It's insane. Love that OP. It's beautiful.
I love
gorgeous.
Both of these OPs. I think were great.
Yeah,
no complaints here at all.
Yep, it's also again, it's really nice that I love that sort of like panel, that shot that you have of the camera moving from one JoJo to the other all the way to Jolyne, and it's beautiful.
Can I also just say because you see aspects of this in both of the OPs, Kamikaze Doga is so good at 3D movement and 2D space.
Go watch Batman Ninja.
Yeah,
holy shit,
they did.
I mean, I can't say the story for that is great, but the animation is fantastic.
The animation is the star of the show.
Didn't they make a sequel movie for that as well?
I think they're making. I don't think it.
They're
came
making a sequel.
Okay,
it hasn't come out
yet.
But yeah, Kamikaze Doga for me, they'll always be like an integral part of JoJo. Obviously, they weren't for parts 4 and 5. We still got banger OPs from them. I mean, Great Days is my favorite.
I would argue we got the best OP from David Production.
But they were missed, and I'm so glad they came back for part 6 because
I hope they come back
right.
for part 7.
I really wish. And it's like JoJo OPs never miss, and it's really fucking great to say that like the final 2 OPs we got for JoJo were bangers.
I said this in a past recording. A weak JoJo OP is still better than 90% of anime OPs.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
I agree.
Talk about the eating.
Really cool. Before, on one cool note, Heaven's Falling Down was actually the composition was done by Yugo Kanno, so that's really cool. The composer.
Just another reason why he is the GOAT.
ED. So I remember there was a lot of talks about the ED before the show came out. And what was your pick for it, Alex? What was your prediction?
I was convinced that they would use Clocks by Coldplay because it's thematically appropriate.
That would have been sick.
Coldplay's Clocks is a really good song. I would argue it's probably their best song.
But yeah, the song they went with was Distant Dreamer by Duffy, which David Production doing a David Production pulling a song no one expected to be used, which is crazy. Like hearing a Duffy song in 2020 was insane.
I actively remember when this song came out and it was played on the radio a lot.
I didn't know this song before Part 6, I'll be honest.
Yeah, neither did I. First time I heard it was during Part 6, and I was like, the fuck is this? And I actually listened to it after watching and listening to the ED, and I'm just like, okay, this kind of fucks. I'm not, like, hardcore into it, but, like, it grew on me. It did grow on me.
By the end of the part, I'll be fucking screaming, I'm a dreamer! with her. Like, it's so, it hits so hard. Like I love the sort of like the almost like marching band feel of this song, you know, with the drums. Like it hits you, you know. It's crazy.
Distant Dreamer is a song that came out. I want to say it was in 99 or 2000. I can't remember when the song originally early 2000s maybe.
2008.
I remember when 2008? No way.
No.
From Rock Ferry, the album, 2008.
I would have sworn it came out in the early 2000s.
I'm looking at it right now, bro. I pulled it up.
Wow, that's
Released
crazy.
2008, yeah.
I do remember, because one thing I know about it is it felt like a late 90s, early 2000s song, and the reason it feels that way is because back then, there was like this push in pop music to like bring back a folk sound to pop music. So there was a lot of pop singers at the time that were releasing like acoustic versions of their songs, and they were actually getting like play on the radio. So I mean, that's kind of what this, like, the song has that kind of folksy feel to it.
It's really somber, but it's also like really hopeful, you know. But
I did not realize it came out that late. Holy shit.
Yeah, apparently. But I like the song. The visuals are like kind of, they work when you realize it's basically the beach from the end of the part, and you're like, oh no, oh, sad times are abound. But like aside from that, I personally didn't get a whole lot from the visuals. I
thought they were nice to look at.
Yeah, but like when I compare it to every other ED, I think this might be the weakest one visually. I love the song, but this might be the weakest ED in terms of visuals for me personally.
Yeah, I think I could agree to that, honestly.
Alex?
Credit to David Productions' audio staff for finding a way in the last episode to have this song lead into fucking Roundabout.
Oh yeah.
Because these two songs are in a completely different key.
I popped so fucking hard when Roundabout played in the final episode. I was like, oh my god, yes.
I fucking stood up. I stood up. I was like, no fucking way, no fucking way. I screamed.
Again,
I screamed.
a great way from a musical standpoint to bring everything full circle.
With the visuals, I've seen this like sort of like image from every single part all the way to part 6. It feels so appropriate the way they ended this part, and we'll get to the ending because there's a lot to get to.
But I have my reservations.
In terms of like, you know, the sort of completeness of these parts 1 through 6, because like that's like the saga is over, basically. I think it's a really great send off for this like Joestar saga, you know. So I love it. Okay. Oh, what were we about to say, Alex?
I wasn't about to say anything. I had to hiccup.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So, before we move on to discussing what happened in part 6, so part 6 is the first part it's so far it's the only part that was exclusive to Netflix.
Yes.
So
I'd just like to lead into this with
it will become
Netflix.
It will become the second part because part 7 has also been announced to be a Netflix exclusive at this point.
Yikes.
And again, I'd just like to say, fuck Netflix.
So I do want to, so bear with me. So I think parts 4 and 5 were really, I mean, they were great, but that's an aside. the sort of culture that was sort of that surrounded parts 4 and 5 of memes, weekly memes. I think like,
JoJo Fridays.
JoJo Fridays.
Yep,
I think
JoJo
there's
Fridays.
something to be said about the community aspect of parts 4 and 5 airing, where it was like it enhanced, for me at least, the experience of watching JoJo on a weekly basis, because a new episode would drop, memes would come out, you'd talk about the episode for a week, new episode's coming out, and the cycle begins again. And I think that really, I look back on those days really fondly. So
It helps. Sorry, Natai, I gotta cut in real quick. It helps with staying power. It helps with community discussions because it lasts so much longer, and you have these threads that go week to week, and they're there for the rest of the internet life because they're archived. When you have something that's released in batch, it doesn't stay. This goes back into my whole argument of weekly releases are the way to go. Batch releases kills things.
yeah, so
I would argue. I would argue. I've said this before. What they need to do with JoJo's is one of two things. Either they need to release it weekly, or they need to release it all at once. Whether that's at the beginning of its airing cycle on TV in Japan or at the end. One of those two things. The batch thing only works, and Netflix did prove that batch releases can work to drive like engagement and community. They proved that it can work with Arcane, but they released those in batches that all released within a month of each other.
yeah, so when Netflix announced that they will stream part 6, I think there was a lot of like excitement at first, but then everyone realized, wait, we have a date, but we don't know anything. We didn't know how many episodes are gonna drop. We didn't know if it was gonna be a weekly release. We didn't know anything. And what we got was a really disjointed and honestly frustrating release order. So the first 12 episodes were released on December 1st, 2021. It was a glorious day. And then we got radio silence. Correcto, that's it. And then radio silence. No trailers, no hints, no nothing.
Not even a stray tweet from Netflix.
Nothing.
That was December 1st, 2021. The next 11 episodes were released on September 1st, 2022, so almost a year. And before that release, there was maybe a trailer, maybe like a month beforehand, if I'm not mistaken. So
Roughly
not
a
a whole
month.
lot of way to drive up in excitement. So that's like 10 months between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last, like, the remainder, it was like 14 episodes. The final 14 episodes were released on December 1st, 2022. So that was 3 months after the second batch, which is not too bad. But again, there was no, like, the announcement came out, like, right before the batch dropped. So that whole
There was
momentum,
no hype leading up.
no hype. So that whole momentum we
marketing.
had from part 3 to part 4, and then part 4 exploding to, and the momentum from that to part 5, which was the actual like peak of popularity for the anime. Like that whole momentum thrown out the window, and it's crazy to me like that someone thought it was a good idea. No, don't get me wrong. We as time went on, we saw more and more anime go the part routes, which is not like, I'm not against it.
It's
if
not
means-
ideal.
It's not ideal, but I'm not against it if it means more time for the animators to get to like polish their
It's like-
craft.
To properly
It's
work
like-
on it, yeah.
Well, and this is for an anime that has nothing to do with JoJo's, but we recently got an announcement that a third season of Apothecary Diaries is happening. It's going to be split into 2 parts, and the 2 parts are going to air like a year apart. Why not just wait until that second part is completely done and then air the entire third season weekly from that point?
I mean,
And
you
a
know
movie
what?
announcement as well.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I take that over what happened with JoJo and Netflix because we know when that other core is coming out.
True,
The-
and we
the
know that
thing with-
both parts are going to air weekly.
Exactly, and so the fact that we had 3 different cores coming out and we had no clue when they're gonna come out until fairly close to the release date was that was crazy. It's crazy.
It was awful.
It was so bad. It
If they
killed
were
the
going
entire
to do it
momentum.
like this, if they were going to do it like this, I think that the best way this could have worked, because there's a fair amount of episodes released in each batch. It's not like there's 5 episodes in each batch.
No, it's a good amount, yeah.
I mean, it's a season's worth of anime episodes in each batch, pretty much. The way they should have done it, if they wanted to do it like this, they should have had, like, let's say it started on December 1st, 2021. That's when the first part came out. The second part should have come out January 1st, 2022,
Right.
and then the next part should have come out February 1st. If they wanted to do batches, that's how they should have done it.
I still would have hated that, but that would have been more reasonable and more well done than what they did.
Again, I'm not against the idea of the batch release. It's just the communication was what killed it for me, or rather lack of. It's crazy. There was no. It felt like there was no attempt to drive up excitement for JoJo Part 6, which is a crying shame. It's such a like,
because I'm willing to wait for quality, like.
And that's the thing that I kind of want to, so Part 6 is really difficult for me because on the one hand, I love Part 6 in terms of story, in terms of like ideas, fights, whatever, we'll get into it. But I think production, this might be on the weaker side of the entire anime like franchise.
I was talking with Shinoda before we started recording. It's like, I think of all the parts of JoJo's, at least that are currently animated, production-wise, like visually, this is probably the weakest.
Yeah, like genuinely, story actually pretty good when you think about it, but the production, man, they fell through. They fell
Like,
through
there's
hard
no
on this.
character. Like, you think about Part 4 with Morio, and there was so much character in that town. There was so much character to that stupid town in the middle of nowhere in Japan. And you're like,
They
okay.
did a lot for background art in Part 4. And I would argue in
Yeah.
Part 5.
But in Part 6, it's just kind of whatever. It's like there's not a whole lot like you just don't get a whole lot of any character from the prison.
The setting, yeah.
For
like,
a
and it's-
place, it's Florida. Like, it's set in Florida. And very little about it feels like Florida.
Like it just feels so it feels like such a missed opportunity of like using the anime as a way to improve on the actual setting of, okay, it's a prison, but like you can present that, like you can present it in a much darker way with lighting. You can do so much with like even not a whole lot of like actual, it feels like a missed opportunity. It's a shame. The production is not great. I remember watching a video that like mentioned that between the TV release and the Blu-ray release, and the Blu-rays were always like known for being like the best versions to watch the anime. For Part 6, there was no changes, and it's crazy because it feels the least polished in terms of like the animation. It's a bit more stilted. There's not
And
a
to
whole
be
lot
fair,
of Sakuga moments, if I'm being honest.
To be fair, this is not like unique to the JoJo's anime. Like most anime, when they have physical media releases, they typically have the animation cleaned up a little more than you'd see on TV, at least to some degree for most anime productions. Not all, but with Part 6, I think that you linked what you were reading to or watched to me. Like, there's nothing that's changed. I mean, there may be a couple of things here and there that are slightly different, but.
And again,
the difference is so minimal. It's like it's almost not worth it if you want to own it.
But it's the thing that kills me is that like, so JoJo never had to be like a powerhouse anime in terms of like Sakuga moments, because the still frames and the paneling and storyboards were always so strong. But in this one, they just are weaker, and it's
there. It's like, it feels like it's just there to be there. If
That,
that
like,
makes sense.
I would say when you're comparing them, especially to the other parts, it feels so much more muted. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's
yeah,
a great way to describe
yeah.
it. Yes.
I agree.
It-
It's such
there
a
are
shame.
parts of this animation wise that feel like they just wanted to get it over with. In my opinion, maybe that's me being
Yes
a
and
little too
no.
harsh.
It feels harsh. Like we don't know what happened, but it just, the thing that gets like, the feeling I get is, man, this was a shit show backstage, right? Because at the same time that, because if I'm not mistaken, while Part 6 was being worked on, their production also worked on Urusei Yatsura. And that was a phenomenal adaptation,
Yes.
from what you told me, Alex, right?
It's a great adaptation.
So, and I kind of left wondering, was Part 6 kind of like shafted Was the A team working on Urusei Yatsura and Part 6 was
Well,
kind
the
of...
B team, yeah. I was wondering about that. I was legitimately wondering
And
about
I feel
that.
so bad about
I
it.
wonder about that too, because I feel like maybe the A team was working on Urusei Yatsura at the time, the B team was working on this, and now they're going to have the A team back for Part 7.
We'll see. I mean, for Part 7, I get a sneaky suspicion that they know they can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
But Part 6, like, I don't know, man. It just production wise, it's definitely the weakest from all of
On
them.
a positive note on the production side, I cannot think of anyone better they could have gotten to voice Jolyne than I
Who's
know.
that? JoJo. So Jolyne Cujoh, yeah. So you wanna talk about the wonderful voice behind her?
My actual real life wife, Ifruz. I mean, what?
We're not worthy. We are not
You're not
worthy.
worthy, not at all.
Nah, she's great. I love. She's a great voice actress. I cannot think of anyone better that could have done this. I mean, maybe
Bro,
sort of
that-
Amamiya.
That
Maybe.
1-2 punch of Ifaruz voicing Jolyne and Power from Chainsaw Man was, oh my god.
Yeah.
Great times. I have
Yeah.
to say, as soon as I heard her say it, like I thought of a couple other voice actors that could possibly do it, but as soon as I heard her as Jolyne, I was like, no, she this is her part. She fits.
No, the second
She's
I heard her
phenomenal.
say yare yare dawa, it's like, yeah, I'm sold.
I love Jolyne. Jolyne is such a great character. I love that we get to see her develop from this like scared like teenager to this absolute badass by the end of the part, you know? Because she starts out as just this regular chick, get caught doing playing with something in prison, and like, you know, she starts out in this very lowly, very degrading manner, and you slowly see her just like rise through the ranks through this prison system, and like,
she becomes
it's
a tough
crazy.
bitch.
I just
She's a mean
love
one.
how in the story and in the anime adaptation as well, there's just these subtle hints that Jolyne is just a really horny woman.
Yeah. It's like subtly hinted at times, and at other times it's like being shouted through a megaphone.
Like there's
hey.
a scene there's a scene near the end with the snails, and they're talking about how snails have sex. She's like, "Man, I'm jealous."
No, Jolyne's
I mean, the
great.
very first hint of it you see is when the prison guard was doing the introduction with her, and she was like, "Drop your pants," and she just does it in full
Bends
full
She
over,
doesn't give a fuck.
just goatees her ass right in front of the fucking prison guard.
So, what did you guys think of the decision for this JoJo to be a woman instead of a man? How did you
Alright,
like?
here-
I liked it. I felt like it was Araki pushing boundaries, and it was him evolving as an author.
All right, here comes my my first criticism of this.
You're a
plot.
sexist, Alex. You're a misogynist.
No.
That's what's wrong with you.
My issue is that they had to like do this whole convoluted thing with Jotaro and finding a mother for Jolyne. By the way, her mother's never given a fucking name.
she doesn't.
Because
That's-
her mother's a dolphin, man.
That's
Don't you
yeah,
know?
her mother's definitely a dolphin.
Oh my god.
That's
he
for the
do-
copy pasta.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. He do be spending a lot of time in the ocean. No,
That's some deep
I
lore.
think because there's already. I've mentioned this in a previous part. There's already an established like female JoJo character that was introduced in part 4. And I think it would have been really cool to use that character as the female JoJo.
But
I'm talking about the invisible baby from part 4.
But then you wouldn't get the familiar bond of like the story of like a daughter and her father with Jotaro and Jolyne.
I know. It just there are parts of Jolene's like backstory that feel very contrived.
Put together.
I think I don't know if it's contrived, but more just Araki wasn't interested in developing them because they weren't important for the story he wanted to tell. Which is
I
that's
guess
his choice.
to me that makes the part feel less alive.
I guess. Oh, to me, I was like, all right, those are the set pieces that he set up. It doesn't matter too much. I care more about what's happening here and now, personally speaking.
Now, I don't hate Jolyne. the character of Jolyne I really like. I like her design. I like her personality. I love the way she's voiced by Ifarus in this anime adaptation. I don't hate the character. I feel like, I don't know, for the one and only adaptation we have, or the one and only part of JoJo we have right now that is led by a female character, it wanted more.
I get it. I get wanting more, like, more of her backstory to be fleshed out. But, like, again, for the intent of the story they were trying to tell, I kind of get that just wasn't important enough. Like, sometimes when you want to tell a story, maybe you want to try and, like, get rid of the fat to, like, focus on the main thing you want to focus. So I get it. I found this afterward from the first volume of Stone Ocean that he wrote, where he mentioned about the decision to write in a female lead, which I found really interesting. So, like, I'll try and go through it quickly, but basically, he writes, some time ago in the 1980s, the impulse of trying a new creative adventure made me draw Gorgeous Irene, we will get back to that name later, a short story which had a woman as a protagonist. But in that time period, I just, don't know, kind of felt something was off. I perceived a weird atmosphere telling me that a female protagonist wouldn't go well in my works. And so I scrapped the idea of turning it into an actual series. Almost 15 years have passed since then, and I'm convinced that in some way the times have changed. Today we live in an era which, even if a girl takes a punch, or a finger goes flying, or she gets pushed down a building, you can still have a really strong atmosphere. The responsibility is all on her dad's shoulders, Jolyne Cujoh. He is the one who initially comes to save his daughter, but ultimately ends up getting saved by her. This in turn favors the eternal growth of the girl. It seems to me that putting yourself out there by inserting a character like this into a manga really pays off. We can be men and women, but the blood relations and the sentiments which derive from them are elements which we all inherit. And I found that really fucking cool, you know. Yeah. Where it's like, this, like, we're in an era now where, like, we might be different genders, but, like, you know, we're still, like, it's all the same blood running.
It's like What's Dom that? from Fast. It's about family.
It's about family.
It's about family.
Which
honestly,
really cool.
That's kind of like Stone Ocean is about not just the ties of family, which a lot of JoJo is kind of about. It's also about the found family that Jolyne finds in the prison.
Which also, like, that whole, like, group of friends to some extent, like, is comprised mostly of women, technically, I guess, right?
2 women, 2 men, and a child.
Actually, FF is a plankton, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm thinking of you have Jolyne, you have Hermes, you have Weather Report, you have Anasui, and then FF is their own thing, and then Emporio, who's a literal child, who for some reason is the only one they ever let drive anything in this series. A literal child.
Apparently the child was that responsible. Let me ask, of the whole cast, who is your guys' favorite character?
Foo Fighters.
I mean, besides Jolyne?
Yeah, besides Jolyne. Foo Fighters, easy.
Foo Fighters is pretty good.
Okay, I'll give you that one as well. Pucci is also up there, but I'm talking about the squad.
The gang,
yeah, the gang.
La Squadra.
So I guess we're 3 for 3 because Foo Fighters was my favorite as well. I love FF. I fucking loved FF. Such a cool character. Such a fun character.
You love seeing this fucking weird plankton alien thing trying to be human. It's great.
Can I also say that, like, as much as I do have criticisms of Part 6, one thing that I don't criticize at all is, like, there are some really interesting stand designs in Part 6.
Part 6 feels like the part where Araki is like, fuck it. Let's fucking put it on the wall. We'll make it work. Like, the fight designs in Part 6 are nuts. Absolutely crazy.
There are some that go on for way too long, though.
Which one?
I'm gonna we're really jumping around, but it's fine.
Just like Netflix did.
Exactly. One of my biggest criticisms of Part 6 as a whole, and it's not just the anime adaptation, it's the manga, it's the overall story itself, is the entire section of the story from when Jolyne gets thrown into, like, the security housing unit up until the end of the Yo-Yo Ma fight takes so goddamn long. And I think it just drags the pacing of the story down so much.
You get a lot of,
that
like,
part was too long.
I disagree. I felt like the drip feed of information both in terms of, like, Pucci and like whatever's going on and like meeting new stand users. Like you have also like the freaking what's it called, the
Green Baby.
No. Before that, the extreme security prison.
The security housing unit.
The security housing unit. Like you have also that bit, which completely changes the dynamic for a few episodes.
It does, but I couldn't be bothered to care about them because I was so fucking bored.
Really?
Like even when I was reading the manga, I was so bored during this part.
Nothing
like
kept you
everything
going
that
for
happens
that?
in the security housing unit to me is so damn boring. Especially the
the
Dragon's
fucking-
Dream fight. I hated that so
Dragon's
much.
Dream is really,
Really?
weird, but like I applaud Araki for. That's the thing about Part 6. Araki goes balls to the walls finding new fights, and like one of my favorite examples is the freaking killing yourself fight.
Oh,
Like
all
that
right,
fight,
kill yourself.
that fight where basically Hermes is trying to freaking prevent someone from killing themselves. I'm like, that's insane, and I love it. So the fact like Dragon's Dream was punctuate the fight, which was a cool idea, but I agree that's like my least favorite fight from the part. But
And when she fights the guard that has the stand, it's like
no, that's one of my
care.
favorite moments in the part.
I
Oh.
don't care. I found it so boring.
But it was so like extreme. It was so like it felt like it was a struggle for Jolyne. Like that's one of my favorite moments where she goes like she
just
fights the
didn't
guard,
care.
and then when she kicks his ass, and she just goes, "Hurrah!" Like that guttural scream she just lets out after beating his ass.
It's better in the anime than it is in the manga because at least with the anime there's some banger ass Yugo Kanno music in the background that I can jam out to, but I just from a story standpoint, I think that everything from Kiss of Love and Revenge Part 2 all the way to probably up to the birth of the Green Baby, I would say I found incredibly boring.
Kiss of Love and Revenge, which that's
the Limp
that's,
Bizkit fight.
that's the Limp Bizkit fight.
I like that. I also love the fucking localized name Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Limp Bizkit.
That's
I
interesting.
just-
Wait,
I
so
don't
you
know,
like the first 11, like the first 12 episodes you did like?
I like the first 12 or so episodes. Yeah, all right. The Debt Collector fight, the Marilyn Manson fight,
That might
really
be
interesting.
one of my favorite in the entire season. The baseball game fight.
Oh, my favorite by far, and this is a hot take. My favorite by far is Bohemian Rhapsody. I love that
Really?
shit.
How come? Like any
I
particular
think it's
reason, or-
honestly not. It's not just one of my favorite fights in the part. It's one of my favorite fights in the franchise.
Bohemian Rhapsody is crazy, and it's kind of like I get why, but it's kind of sad that it was a bit neutered for the anime, especially.
In the manga, you see Snoopy.
No fucking way. What?
That's one of the changes from the manga to the anime is Snoopy does show up at one point.
What other references are in the manga that are not in the anime for the Bohemian
That's a
Rhapsody
good
fight?
question. Oh, one fun fact I do know about that is the guy who does the announcement on the TV talking about Kenshiro and I forget who he fights in the anime, but when they're talking about the damage that's going on in Japan, and it's Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star that does all the damage and destroys part of Tokyo. That guy that does the announcement on the TV is Kira's voice actor from Part 4, and
Oh.
and he's also the narrator for the Fist of the North Star series.
That's
Oh.
crazy. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
That's nuts.
So that was cool to bring him back in to reprise that like character that he does in a completely different series.
So, like, you talk about that section of the story being kind of like boring to you, but like one of the things you get.
Oh no, Bohemian Rhapsody is great to me.
No, not Bohemian Rhapsody, but that middle section between Limp
Oh
Bizkit
yeah,
and Yo-Yo
I call it the security housing house unit arc.
the
Whatever.
battle royal fight. So, but one of
a
the
good way to
things that I
look at it.
love the most about that section is that you slowly get more drip feed information in regards to Pucci and his lover Dio. Which, speaking of, what a fucking great villain is Pucci. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, Pucci's interesting because you see him in a perspective of he's just trying to bring his lover back to life, so to speak. He's not necessarily evil per
He's trying to
se.
reach
Then
heaven.
you see him start doing some seriously evil things in the pursuit of something he views as something good. And I'm just like, okay, I dig this character. He's so fucked up in the head that it makes him interesting.
I mean, it's that classic villain trope of, like, they start out with noble intentions and then they just completely, like, not forget, but
Go down the wrong path.
They travel the dark road.
No. They ignore the fact that they have become the very evil that they didn't like before.
I also love the fact that this is a JoJo villain that we see struggle. Like, we get a lot of, like, intimate time with Pucci to get into his head. And I'll never forget that first time when the fog started raining and near the end of the first batch of episodes, where you see Pucci, like, you're in his head, this, like, listening to his thoughts.
Counting all prime numbers.
And he's counting prime numbers. And I love the way in how such a short amount of time we get so much information about how much this villain is formidable, but he's also struggling. Like, it's not like he's not that much ahead of Jolyne at the beginning of the show,
Do you
which
know,
is great.
as a villain, do you know who he reminds me of? Have either of you seen Breaking Bad?
I have.
Yes.
He reminds me a lot of Gustavo Fring.
Bro, I fucking knew you were gonna
see
say that.
it. Yeah.
Because Gustavo has OCD, but he's also a villain as fuck. And he's gay.
Oh,
Is he?
that's
Yeah,
it was
Gus is
alluded
gay.
to. It
Oh,
was
right.
alluded to. It was never confirmed.
He's gay, he has OCD, and he's evil. I mean, come on. He's kind of... And he's black. That's Pucci. He's Pucci.
Well, I remember there was a little bit of controversy behind him being black per se in the anime while it was airing for some reason. I don't know why
there?
it was. Yeah, there was.
I mean,
Like-
you know, Japanese people don't like the... Never mind, I'm not going to
Oh
finish
my
that
god,
sentence.
Alex!
I'm
Stop
not going to
it.
finish
It's
that
not
sentence.
wrong.
Oh my
It's
god,
not wrong. It's the truth.
that's crazy.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if it's Japanese or not. It may have been a Chinese person, but I've seen that video of the black person in the Spider-Man mask where it tries to scare an old Asian woman, and, like, she's unfazed by it, takes off the mask, realizes he's black.
It's a classic for a reason.
That's it. It's a phenomenally
classic,
classic video.
What did you think of the decision to bring back Dio and, like, to see his relationship with Pucci to get more like that aspect of Pucci's character?
I felt like it made it relate. It connected everything together. That's like this whole part was about everything interconnecting together finally. And I feel like this from the villain side, that this is what made it relate. If that makes sense.
I think I get what you're talking about. Like, it kind of makes the story feel like it's full circle, because the story started with Dio as the villain, and then the middle part of this whole saga has Dio as the villain, and then now at the end we have Dio's apprentice as the villain.
Yeah, the legacy of Dio.
I get what you mean. I have mixed feelings about it. On the one
Okay.
hand, it's cool seeing Dio again, because Dio, kind of a
That
classic.
voice can put me to sleep, bro. It's so good.
kind of a classic anime villain, right? On the other hand, I see it as like, man, this almost feels like it's retconning a lot of stuff from part 3.
But, like, that's the thing. Like, does it matter that much? Does it change events that much? It just gives me more context about, like, it's more about Pucci than about Dio.
I
I
wonder if Araki knew, like, the entire, or had a vague idea of the story that he wanted to tell for parts 1 through 6, right?
No
If he
way.
knew that,
No
no, hold on. If he knew it at the time is what I'm saying. If he would have put some kind of a nod somewhere into part 3 that this is going to happen in part 6.
Most likely. Like, I
Like,
get
all
what
that
you
would have
mean.
had to happen, insert like 2 or 3 panels into part 3, right? Where they're at Dio's mansion and, like, oh, there's a disc on the counter. What is that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I get it. Yeah, I totally get it, but like, I don't think it's that massive of a. It doesn't change everything. That sort of like story decision to me, at least.
I don't know.
I have
didn't
to
hate
agree
it.
with
I just
Natai.
wish I didn't hate it. I just wish that it had like more
Been foreshadowed.
either been foreshadowed in part 3, or that Araki had made a greater effort to weave it more succinctly into the events of part 3.
Now, here's the thing. I don't think he knew he was getting to this point.
Oh, he didn't.
At that point, way back when. I think, because of that, like, you have to make it fit. I don't think it necessarily changes things too much with part 3. I don't think it's that much of a stretch, honestly speaking.
I mean, I don't think it necessarily changes that much, but the fact that none of this was mentioned in part 3 just makes it or even part 4 or part 5 or anything, makes it really difficult to like think that, oh, this definitely happened.
I can say that it's because of the fact that we get this other side of Dio, we get to see more afterwards. I appreciate it more because it's like, oh, he was getting up to so much more than we ever knew, and like, yes, this is a new thing, this is a surprise to us, but I like that. It shows us a greater side to this villain, this classic villain that we've known for so long.
I love Dio's design in part 6.
It's amazing.
I like his design in
It's
part 6
amazing.
better than part 3.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
really?
I do. That's
Because
a hot
it's-
take, I know.
Because you get a bit more skin.
He
I
looks
mean,
like a twink. He legit looks like a
It
twink.
doesn't
in
look like a
part
big
6.
truck anymore. It's not.
I
but I
know.
love it when my British vampire is like fucking look at piece of meat right there, man.
Whoa.
Look, I love.
I would
British
sip
twinks.
on that tea.
I do. I love Whitesnake as a stand though. I like the implication of like being
design
able to
crazy.
steal memories and stands and put them into the disc. Like the disc are kind of a very contrived thing. Again, I wish it was something that was alluded to in previous parts or something, but
like you could say that's like just the power of this stand, and this stand is fairly new. Whereas like it's makes sense that we only get that glimpse of like this mechanic only now, right?
yeah. I don't know. I kind of wish instead of the discs, it had been just another stand arrow that had that power.
I just think that disc tie really well into, because it's like Whitesnake's power is about like memories, like in the theme of part 6 being about memories. I think it just
And
ties
I
really well
love-
together.
And
I
discs
love-
are part of its time.
One of the things that made me laugh the absolute hardest watching this part and reading it originally too was when Pucci takes a literal CD and puts it into some dead corpse's fucking head and it starts playing Handel's Messiah. That shit
That's
like
so good.
sent me.
That's so good. I haven't seen that. I'd love to see
I
that.
can't, actually, that is at the very end of the security housing unit
I
part.
don't remember that.
Was it? I don't.
It's
remember.
when what is it? His name Guccio. Guccio is one of the ones that gets killed, and it's because he's one of the ones that Pucci sent in there to kill Jolyne.
Mm.
And he finds his corpse, and he just pulls out his CD that's got Handel's Messiah on it, slides
That's
it
so
into his
funny.
skull,
I didn't notice that.
and he just and then like he does that, and it starts playing Handel's Messiah, and these like violins just appear out of nowhere, and he's going, oh yes.
I love that shit. Like Pucci is such an entertaining character, and because like his conviction is so like you can't look away. Like it's so
It's
cool.
it's like watching Gus in Breaking Bad. Like you know he's a bad guy, but
But
his
it's fun to
conviction,
watch.
his
Yeah.
conviction is so fun to watch.
And I love how that like everything about his character like tied together, just like with the way he sort of like calms down, is counting down primary numbers, and his whole like the heaven plan is basically, you know, resetting the universe to like so that you know what the future is ahead, thereby that is heaven, knowing what is ahead and knowing how to like confront that, which is just like counting down primary numbers because you know what the outcome is. It's like I love how that ties together. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I think Pucci is one of the standout things about this part because if I'm being honest, I like the cast members, the cast of Part 6. I don't think they're as cohesive as previous parts though.
I would completely agree with that because like you have that part in near the end where Weather Report dies, right?
Yeah,
It's a great moment. By the way.
It's a good moment in a vacuum, but I would say it's nowhere near as well done as some of the other character deaths in other parts. Like this doesn't hold a candle to Narancia dying in Part 5, at least not to me. Like it was done way better, and
because it feels
that death was like foreshadowed multiple times.
It feels like this cast, like I love all these characters individually, but as a group, it just feels like there was never a click where it's like, oh, it's a group of people who give a shit about each other, like the previous parts. Like we get like one-on-one time with
slapped together, yeah.
Like we get one-on-one time between Jolyne and individual members, but yeah, when Weather Report dies, Jolyne is sad and Emporio is sad to some extent, but somewhere it's like, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and at like for going back to Part 5, like when Narancia dies, it gives the entire cast that's assembled there an additional resolve to end this final fight as quick as they can, and like they're doing it now to avenge their fallen comrade.
We're doing it live.
Like that, but that's the feeling you get when this happens in Part 6 with Weather Report specifically. I didn't get that same feeling. Like they get over it so quickly.
It was almost too quick, if anything. Just
And
like, they could
another-
have given a little bit more time.
Another big problem that I have with Part 6 overall with its story is once they escape from the prison, which I feel like the escape from the prison is way too fucking easy. Especially
Is it too easy? It took so long to get out of prison.
Well, the jailhouse lock thing was actually pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I love Jaws Rock. It's a great fight.
Jailhouse lock. That's not a localized stand name. That's the actual name.
I thought the name was Jailhouse Rock, like the Elvis song.
There's no L sound in Japanese, so they make it sound like rock. But the actual name is Jailhouse Lock.
My bad. I love that song, so maybe it's my bias at play.
That is the stand, like that's the namesake though, is the Elvis song Jailhouse Rock.
It's
a great
so
song,
good,
by the way.
And again, really creative fight where it's like Jolyne needs to keep track of like three pieces of information at a time. It's so good.
We get that's creative. I like that. We get to see that, and we get to see how they use that to escape the prison. That's fine. And then we cut to Weather Report and Anasui, and they're like, we're gonna escape from prison, and then we like the match cut to them outside of the prison. Like, well, that was fucking easy.
Yeah, I agree that like it's just like the show wants to get out of the prison, at that point. Like,
It's
the whole premise. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
If we had, I mean, I could imagine that Araki could have come up with like another fight showing them getting out of prison in some way, but it's just like hand waved, and it's like we're gonna get out of prison. Then we go do some stuff with Jolyne and Hermes for a little bit that they've already like got out of prison, and then we just cut back to them standing outside the prison. It's like, well, anyway.
I have to say, I didn't really like the Jailhouse Lock story arc that
really
much. Yeah, I thought the whole thing of like Jolyne can only remember 3 things at a time, and like she has to use that to defeat the enemy.
Theme of memories, bro.
It is, but still, like only 3 things at a time, and then she has to use that, and I'm just like, all right, this is a little bit contrived. Like this is a little bit
fair,
of an ass-pull.
If you think about that stand for more than 2 seconds, it doesn't make sense because, like, all the words you know are things you memorize.
But it's not memorize. It's more like pieces of information, rather than.
I'm just saying you can nitpick this stand a lot.
So before we like head to like the final section of Part 6, because we're a bit all over the place, but we kind of didn't mention one of the core aspects of Part 6, which is Jotaro itself showing up. What did you think of like his inclusion to the story, both in terms of relation to Jolyne, his like role in the story, and like
he looks younger the older he gets?
It's crazy.
Reverse
It is
aging.
crazy. It is crazy.
I have to say though, what a piece of shit, Dad. How could he leave his daughter all alone for so many
He
years?
was trying
For
to
a
not
dolphin.
involve her. For dolphin.
left his mother for a dolphin.
What's the
Or left
origin
his-
of the dolphin meme? Can you? I never looked it up. What's the origin
Listen.
of the Jotaro dolphin meme?
Listen,
Oh,
any
God,
hole's a goal,
it's-
my dude.
It's so stupid. I don't even know the origin.
Look, he is stun locked on that phrase.
Wait.
Dolphin jelly, my guy.
Oh no. Move along. Okay. I regret
I like
everything.
how I stun locked him on that phrase. That was amazing. I was watching his brain break in real time.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
No, I mean, obviously, Jotaro is almost, for the first, well, ever since he's introduced, he becomes like an integral part of JoJo's. He appears in every part since part 3. I mean,
That's also true.
3, 4,
But
5, 6.
This one is quite integral to. Also in part 4 it was, but there and he's not that active in part 6. But I think I just think that relationship aspect of Jolyne sort of like coming to terms with her relationship with her father because they were distant, but she's still like she knows everything he's done out of like wanting to protect her and like not involving her with his own life. What is it? Come on.
But it's,
That conversation they have during the final fight, him and Anasui, it's like when Anasui is like, I want to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, and he's like, have you gone mad?
like, who the fuck
Bro,
is
the
you?
the world is ending. What is wrong with you?
Have you gone mad?
It's literally the what the hell is even that meme? And it's just like, Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that?
Which, to be fair, Anasui does kind of look like something you would say that to.
Yeah.
What the hell is even that?
Shoes on chest.
Honestly, the first time I ever saw Anasui like in a color illustration is like, Diavolo, is that you?
Yeah, legit. I was like,
Is this
wait,
Diablo's
Diablo?
child?
And it's like, no, it's not.
I saw panels from the manga where he looks androgynous almost. It's kind of crazy.
He's supposed to be.
Because in the anime, he's a buff man. He's a buff naked man. Like,
I think he's supposed to be somewhat of an androgynous dude.
It's funny you say that in Thai, but like whenever I see him, like even though he's buff and naked and very much a man, he's still very androgynous to me. Like I see him, I'm like,
no, in
there's
the
a
anime.
feminine. Yeah, in the anime, like to me, I see him and I'm just like, no, that's
don't know if
still androgynous to me.
Dude, that's a piece of meat if I've ever seen one. Like, come on,
I mean,
I'm looking
to
at
be
it
fair,
right now.
To be fair, even the female characters in JoJo's look beefy. So
Nah, come on. I'm looking at like manga panels of like, honestly, it looks way. That's a curvier chest than in the anime. I'll tell you that one.
I think
I don't know what
Araki
to
was
tell
really
you.
ahead of the curve. I mean, he was trying to make a femboy.
More of making a twink. Let's be honest.
Anyway.
I will say, between Jotaro and Jolene's relationship, I did really like seeing the progress and evolution of Jolyne hating Jotaro to going to, oh, he gives a shit about me and he actually does care about me. I have to rescue this man and I will love him as a father no matter what it takes. And that resolution she took on to save her father, I genuinely admired that from her.
Yeah.
So, Alex, do you want to say anything else before we head to?
I guess since we're kind of in like the third act here, I mean, something that I want to bring up is, again, another criticism I have. We have this whole story arc that evolves with like the sons of Dio, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck was Giorno? What the fuck?
He was doing his own
not-
thing.
Yeah, I'm not
And this
I'm not that bummed about like Jonah not showing up.
Because I like the Sons of Dio. I mean, obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of my favorite fights. And that was the first son of Dio that you see, who also looks like he may have been dropped on his head a few times as a baby. I'm just saying. I like Sky High.
Sky
That
High
was
is
really
pretty
cool.
sick.
And then Underworld is like chef's kiss.
Underworld is a weird fight, but again, theme of memories, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
popping up every now and then. It's real cool.
And it's a really creative way to utilize memory. It's like the memories of the Earth, the memories of
Oh,
history.
right, the ground fight. Yeah.
Yeah. A plane fight underground. And do you know what them being in that plane reminded me of? It reminded me of the gray fly in the fight on the plane in part 3.
In part 3, yeah, I know.
When they're fighting on the 747 jumbo jet.
This fight is way better than that one. Let's be honest.
Oh, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. But that was also very early in the whole stand era, so I'll give Rocky, a little pass there.
Yeah, I do like that concept of the Sons of Dio. Like, the fights were good, but like they didn't stick with me as characters.
The biggest narrative issue I have with like the last part of this, especially when the whole theme of like memories and family connections and stuff start to like come full circle, is if that was the case, and I don't know if Araki knew this at the time, so I will give him a little leeway on this. I don't know if he knew that it was going to be like the last part of JoJo that took place in this universe. He probably didn't.
We'll talk about this in a bit, actually.
He probably didn't, so that's fine. But I really wish that, knowing now that it was, I kind of wish that it incorporated more established elements of this world with characters that had already been established. Like, I think it would have been really cool during that final fight if at some point, at one point or another, Josuke had shown up, Giorno had shown up.
I think it's just you're looking for a lot of fan service in a story that might be self-indulgent, but not like that fan service.
Not to that level, yeah. I feel like you're stretching on that, buddy.
Like, I remember when the show first started and you got to, like, there was the hint of the Speedwagon operative coming to take, like, to
And it's
like,
a pigeon.
Yeah, take something from Jolyne, and you're like, maybe it'll be this guy, maybe it'll be this guy. It's just a fucking pigeon. Like, there was...
You say that about fan service, but in the next to last episode, we get an incredibly fan service moment where you hear a voice cameo from Rohan.
Rohan?
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
do.
When the time starts accelerating, it cuts to this like manga artist who's really struggling. It's like, how can they expect you to draw a whole page a night? And then
that's
the phone
right.
rings and the guy answers, hello. It's like, this is Kishibe Rohan.
Yeah, but it's just because, I mean, we know Araki
that's fan service.
Loves, yeah,
I'm sorry, that's fan service.
No, totally, but Araki loves Rohan, so I'm not that like surprised, if I'm being honest.
I'm surprised that it didn't just cut to fucking Rohan in that scene.
So
that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, so the final fight, Made in Heaven, after the whole like heaven plan like comes to fruition, and like that whole section of the story where you go between Pucci, like evolving and his stand becoming Sea Moon, and then from Sea Moon to Made in Heaven. How did you guys feel about that whole sort of like escalation of events of Sea Moon being this fucking destructive force of nature stand, and the way it slowly builds to Pucci evolving pretty much?
Credit to the localizers with Made in Heaven, because they change it from Made in Heaven to Made in Heaven. That is brilliant localization. That is brilliant
I heard
localization.
it's weird that like it was translated at first as Stairway to Heaven. Is that like a thing?
I've heard that before, and I do not know.
I never looked it up if it's actually like a thing, or is it just like nonsense,
I honestly don't know. I can't.
Hot take: Made in Heaven is a better song than Stairway to Heaven. That's my hot take of the day. Look, I have a soft spot for Freddie Mercury. Okay.
Wow.
Listen,
Right.
it's not the first time you're wrong on the podcast, Alex. So like, I'll give you that. Like, I'll allow your fucking
Both are great
shittier.
Both Both are like
Yeah.
like S+ tier songs. But I think Made in Heaven is a better song than Stairway to Heaven.
Anyways, Pucci's evolution. What a weird way that they did it, but man, was it kind of cool.
I
It
like
was
that you get to
sick.
see this. I like that you get to see this immediately after we have like the whole heavy weather arc with Weather Report like getting his memories back and then dying.
Rip Weather.
Such a sick character.
And we get this right after we get a huge lore dump, not just about Weather Report, but
Also
about
Pucci.
Pucci's like childhood and teenage years and stuff like that. Like, I feel like if that had been done in any other part, it would not have been as good. Any other part of this story.
Yeah, it works really well too. Like, and also again, it just like it's really well, like it just sheds so much light on his character as in relation to his plan and Dio's plan to like what is actually heaven. Because if he would have known the future, he would like found happiness then because he knew what to expect and like he would feel no sort of like he would face no challenges or any like hardships because he knows the future already, so he can accept it. I love it.
The
I love
anxiety
this whole
that
like
comes with not knowing. Yeah.
I also
I
love
love that
how once
thematic
Made in Heaven
through line.
activates, he just becomes Sonic the Hedgehog. That's fucking great.
fast as fuck, boy.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
That whole like
I love the realization that Jotaro has when he activates Star Platinum, and he like Pucci's eye moves right before time starts to move again. He's like, oh,
it's so good. It's so
As soon as he sees it,
frightening.
yeah.
Like we said this about like I mentioned about how kind of frustrated I am with the production. The whole Made in Heaven fight is done brilliantly in the anime. It's
Thank
done
God
so
they
fucking
put
well.
effort
Do you know
into
how-
that.
do you know how in part 5 we talked about the not the contrast, but the
Whiplash.
not the whiplash, the what is the fucking word I'm looking for? How the connection between part 5 and 3, where in part 3 you had Polnareff at the bottom of the stairs looking up at Dio is God, and in part 5 you have Polnareff looking down at
Diavolo.
Diavolo, the
Diavolo,
devil, down the stairs at the devil. In this, you have another callback to part 3, because in part 3, it's Dio who realizes that Jotaro can like move when time is stopped because Jotaro moves his eyes. And in this one, Jotaro realizes that Pucci can like function during his time stop because he moves his eyes.
It's also not
It's
there's
the
another
parallel.
callback.
Yeah.
Parallel. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
There's also another callback where that moment where Pucci is about to throw the knives at Jolyne.
Yes!
And Jotaro sees the ghost of Dio right behind him, and he just screams this guttural scream of terror of like this fucking enemy coming back from the dead in the form of Pucci. Brilliant moment. And like that whole like fight is terrifying. Like the world is literally coming to an end, like right in before your eyes, and it's absolutely terrifying. I love that fight.
I also love the implication that so in like every part that's happened so far, right? It feels like the effects of all the fights are pretty localized. Like in part 3, it just feels like the fights are happening in the spot that they're happening, and they're only affecting the people that are fighting. And the same with parts 4 and 5 largely. I mean, yeah, there may be some damage to like structures and whatnot, whatever. But by and large, it doesn't seem to affect the daily lives of people.
But then
Part
you get
6,
this final.
shit starts happening that's definitely affecting how society functions.
Fucking
And then the world entirely. Then
bro,
the universe.
fucking gravity is all fucked up, and fucking comic book characters are coming to life destroying shit, and
Which
then
makes it like
the stakes are higher than
understandable.
ever.
It makes it understandable why Araki thought, I can't really go further in this universe. I need to create a new one. Because like, where do you go from here?
So that's a great question, Alex. Now, if you would indulge me, I have this afterward reading the final volume of Stoic that Araki had, and I really dig what he was going for. So the quote is, "The truth is, I don't really know what to say about this. Writing the 6th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures started feeling, while writing it, I started feeling a great sense of satisfaction regarding the Stan's powers. I felt like I had reached the peak of my creativity. As an author, I had drawn everything my capability allowed. Time that got faster and faster for human senses to perceive, getting closer to the concept of infinite, given we can't really comprehend much of it. How could there possibly be a Stan power bigger than this? There's nothing more incredible. My creativity has reached the highest point." That's what I thought. I normally think that feeling like a sense of satisfaction or personal realization are extremely scary. Finding yourself in a situation where you think everything's going well and you don't need to do anything more is without a doubt a terrible situation, as a person and as a mangaka. But also if we think about society and the development of science, philosophy, art, and culture in general. People act to achieve something, to obtain satisfaction above all else. But what do they do when they reach it? This contradictory feeling crept up my heart while I was coming up with the ending for Stone Ocean. So, right before, like, while he was writing the ending of Stone Ocean, that's when he realized he wanted to reset the universe because he felt like he just reached a point where he couldn't go any further than this ending.
Yeah.
Which I totally respect.
I can respect an artist understanding the limits of their creativity because there are too many artists that do not.
And you know what's fucking insane? To read this and knowing people call Steel Ball Run his magnum opus.
Yeah.
That is fucking nuts.
It's like, I've reached the limits of my creativity, but
Hold my horse.
hold your horses.
Whole
horse.
Whole horse. See, hearing that just makes me kind of a little more upset that he didn't actually just go balls out and just do like a full fan service ending to end it all out.
I don't know. Like, JoJo is a very self-referential show, but like the most fan service stuff in JoJo is mostly done outside of the actual content of the story, whether it's the OPs, EDs, or stuff like that, you know?
But
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of like an actual universe, after part 3, it really felt like the universe was really connected because you had characters that were recurring, that were referenced, that were talked about. And it's like, and it oftentimes showed up and played an integral part of the story. Like, Jotaro is an integral part of the story in parts 3, part 4, and part 6.
Yep.
And I feel like they have this, like, Araki created this universe of characters, and it's not like many of them are dead. Why not bring them back? Especially when it would be advantageous to the story to do so. If you're gonna make a story arc about the sons of Dio, why don't you incorporate an actual son of Dio that you fucking introduced already?
Because I feel like that would be stretching it too much. That would be bringing in everything.
I mean,
I feel, as
to be
Mithai
fair,
said, that would be a little bit too fan service. And yes, he does do self-referential fan service, but I feel like he keeps it at a limit, arm's length away. If you do it too much, then it's just stretching, and you're not making it
Also, to
believable
be fair,
anymore.
like, Gold Experience Requiem would fucking destroy this fucking fight.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if Giorno showed up, this fight would be over in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, when that
although
fight
Jotaro
happens,
wouldn't have died, just saying.
I guess. So when that fight happens and slowly see all like our heroes like dying one after the other, and then Jolyne helps Emporio escape, and all that shit happens, that basically like the universe resets itself after Emporio and Pucci have their final confrontation. When it's all said and done, what did you guys think of the ending?
It's alright.
Mixed feelings, a lot of mixed feelings, because I was just like, man, everything didn't matter, but everything did matter. But everything's different now.
Stayed with Emporio. He's in the new universe. He's on his own, but the memories of friends are the thing that will keep him going and connect him to these people in this new universe. That's what brought him together.
Which
Isn't
would have
that
been
fucking beautiful?
Which would have been a much better ending had I given a shit about more of the characters.
I love this ending. I was kind of I'll be honest, because I knew from you, Alex, for the longest time that you didn't like the ending, and I
don't like the ending of part 6 at all.
And I did get, like, I was spoiled by Alex that the universe was getting reset in part 6, so I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how and like what's the implications and all that. And I really dig it thematically. I think it's a beautiful message that like the people we like, our memories of people is like, and our experiences with them is like what we kind of like are a part of us as well, make us as people. I think it's a real beautiful message.
It is a good teaser for part 7. It's like, okay, we're in a new universe. Guess what? There are other JoJo universes.
At the same time, I kind of wish we saw what happened to all our main characters, all our titular characters, what happened to them in this universe, because we know they exist.
Well,
or did exist? Yeah, some of them at least. So I kind of wish we could have at least gotten to see some of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it feels like it ends as a wet fart. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like that's
I
what
disagree.
that's
I
what part
disagree.
6 feels like. The ending of part 6 just genuinely to me feels like a wet fart and a huge missed opportunity.
I liked it quite a bit. I liked it more than I expected. I thought I was gonna be a little bit like, just not like underwhelmed by it. Yeah, underwhelmed, but I ended up really liking it after thinking about it for a while.
I'm not underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just whelmed.
Shinoda, do you have any more thoughts about the ending?
Well, again, it's mixed feelings for me because I did enjoy the overall story. I thought the ending of it was, I don't think it was a wet fart necessarily, but I felt like it was a little bit weak in terms of, oh, I have to reset everything to go on. And I'm just like, did you have to? Couldn't you have done it a better way, maybe? I don't know. It feels a little bit of, oh man, all the characters I knew, this whole story that I knew about is gone now. This entire world has disappeared.
But it still lives in
So-
your memories.
The memories do matter, and that is the main message of it. It's the memories that matter. It's like, it's the whole saying of, there's two deaths. One where you die, and the second one when you're
The last person
remembered.
thinks of you.
Yeah. And this is gonna be on that second one. There's only one person that knows about that other world now.
Poor
And-
Emporio.
Yeah, poor Emporio. That child's gonna need therapy. Yeah, question:
Yeah.
does it? Because I don't think it did this for part 4. Does it weaken the part or the ending for you in any way that it's not the main JoJo that ends up saving the day?
A
No.
little bit.
Because in part 4, it's not the main JoJo that saves the day. It's Jotaro that ends up like dealing the final blow to Kira.
Also, it
in
wouldn't have worked
part 4.
without Hayato, who is a regular dude.
True. And I would argue Koichi has a part to play in the
He
finale
pulls
of part 4.
on Jotaro's fucking waistcoat.
Yes.
Okay.
But no. Beach.
Beach.
No, I
I
don't think it takes away necessarily from the ending, but I definitely think it's funny to me that the two other parts of JoJo besides part 3 that feature Jotaro the most have someone that isn't the main JoJo save the day.
I guess but that's the thing. Like, did Emporio save the day? To some extent, it did, but like the world still reset, so it's kind of like,
mean,
it's a really somber
honestly-
ending in that aspect.
Honestly, if there's anything you can say about part 6, it's almost Pucci won.
To some extent, like, he
Pucci
didn't
sort of
get what he
won,
wanted,
yeah.
but like
He didn't get
but
what he wanted, but he definitely destroyed the world
what-
that he was in.
Yeah, definitely.
But the gang won because they managed to stop Pucci. So
Yeah.
in the end, the gang won.
Emporio
With
saved
cost?
like it saved the world from being in Pucci's like eternal like nightmare.
And being
In
in
eternal
Pucci's
heaven.
Matrix. Pucci's Matrix.
I like the ending. I like Jolene's final sacrifice. I like that that animation cut where she goes, like, she turns around and like faces Pucci. It's fucking great.
I hate one thing I did hate, and I say hate with like quotation marks. That last scene where she's talking to Emporio while they're riding a dolphin, mind you. That shit's underwater. Y'all should not be able to talk to each other.
I think
don't
we saw
hand
shit
wave,
happen
hand wave.
underwater though. It's not
Anyway.
like Stan used it, but anyway. So for the final time, I have a few questions, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite quote for part 6?
Well, I wrote it down because I knew this was coming. Where is it? All right. I've never been more resolved than this, Jolyne. It was when was this? While she was still in prison, when she fully resolved to get out, rescue her father, and avenge. I think this was after Weather Report died. I want to say.
In the jailhouse lock arc?
Yeah, I believe so. Either way, that's when that full resolution came to her, and she said that, and I was just like, yeah, no, like she is resolved to see this through. This is her mission now, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this it set gravitas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I love the when she faces that prison guard, and she like starts talking about all the other ways that like you greet people in different languages, and then she just goes double middle finger to him.
Yeah.
I love that moment so much from her. Like it's not a quote, but it's one of my favorite moments.
Oh God, what is my favorite quote from this part? Can I actually say that it happens multiple times? It doesn't have to be just one thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Every time that Pucci starts counting prime numbers is pretty great. Usually because it's accompanied by him freaking the fuck out.
But Alex, what is the weakest stand?
What is the weakest stand? That's a great question.
Survivor. You don't remember?
Survivor.
Like,
yeah.
Fucking Dio shitting on Survivor before it creates chaos. What is your?
Yeah, that every time that he counts prime numbers is pretty good because it's usually accompanied by him freaking out.
Also, Nasui says a lot of really unhinged shit in this part, so it's great. I
The
love the
scene where he
moments.
puts the scene where he puts the ring on her finger in the car and she immediately throws it at an alligator.
Also, Weather Report is fucking out there. Something was like, "Oh yeah, I just urinated myself." It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Fuck.
Unhinged.
What is your favorite fight from Part 6?
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's easy.
Okay.
The final fight between Pucci and the gang, just like that whole little arc was balls to the walls insane between the gravity shifting, time shifting, everyone just doing everything they can to survive and fight this big bad at the end. I thought that was such an amazing fight. And the sound effects during that fight, I was just
Sound
like,
design in Part 6 is
yo.
good, by the way. Yeah, I just want a quick shout out to sound design in Part 6. It's phenomenal. For me personally, we mentioned, but the Marilyn Manson fight, the Debt Collector,
Yeah.
is one of
I
my
like that a
favorite
lot,
fights
too.
in the entirety of JoJo. It's so creative, it's so much fun, it's so intense, it's phenomenal.
I can tell you what my least favorite fight is. Yo-Yo Ma. Fuck you.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Fuck you.
And finally, for the final time, for now,
For now.
how would you rank the parts, guys? Chinoda?
Go ahead, Shinoda.
Sure. I have it listed from least to greatest. 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
So
All right.
It's still crazy with the 2 is like the one before last. But it's interesting.
it's really good, but man, compared to the others.
All right.
For what about
For
you, Alex?
me, my ranking is I'm gonna go from best to worst. So 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 6.
That's so harsh.
I have not made any like hidden like thing about it. Like part 6 is
This
my least favorite
rewatch
part of
didn't
JoJo's.
change your mind?
No. In fact, if anything, I would probably think it's hurt it. I've seen things that I didn't even notice before. That's like,
Okay.
I don't know, for all the reasons I've mentioned, and perhaps some we didn't even mention, this part just did not click with me at all, and it's a shame because it takes place in my home fucking state.
That is so funny. Shout out to
Natai.
Kennedy Space Center, by the way. Anyway, my ranking.
You've been there.
Yeah, I've seen Pucci with my own eyes. No, I'm kidding. My ranking would be from best to worst would be probably 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 1.
Okay.
6 and 2 can switch places.
All of you,
Sometimes.
Alright.
all you
Depends.
part 1 haters out there, I just don't understand it. It's so good. It's so good.
I
Don't
reject
get
my
wrong, I don't
humanity,
hate it.
Alex.
It has some of the best quotes in all of JoJo's.
That
And
is
y'all
true.
just put it at the fucking
is true.
bottom.
That is true.
How many times do people go, "It was me, Dio"?
I'll say this: like, just because it's at the bottom doesn't mean I hate it.
No,
I'm just compared to all the other parts. That's all.
I've said this before. A weak part of JoJo's is still better than 90% of all shonen.
Yep.
And that's facts. Straight facts.
So, guys,
we're caught up.
JoJo's.
We did it. Holy shit.
We're caught up for now.
Oh, do you guys have
Let the voice
overall,
of love take you higher.
I have to ask, do you guys have a rating for these 3 parts, for part 1, 2, and 3 of part 6? Of how they were released.
I think I give him...
I have a rating. Netflix, don't do that again.
Yeah.
I think I give him an 8 or a 7.
I did 8 for the first 2 parts, and then the last part, part 3, I gave it a 7.
Why the last part be the 7? Excuse me.
Because the ending was so controversial to me. I've had so many mixed feelings about it. That's like what knocked it down score for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a rating for each of the like chapters, parts that came out, segments, batches of episodes that came out for this. But I will say, overall, I think I give this part of JoJo's like 7 out of 10.
Okay.
That's still pretty high.
That's still good. Yeah.
I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, it's still JoJo's, and it still made me laugh a lot, and it still made me go, holy shit, that's a cool fight from time to time. So, I mean, I have my issues with part 6, and overall, I would say I'm very, in terms of JoJo's, I find it very mid. In terms of just anime in general, or manga in general, I think it's alright.
You know what? And I'm glad that like every JoJo fan has his own ranking, because like that's what we get. That like you can like or dislike each and every part. It's like it's a really fun conversation to have with JoJo fans.
I think every part kind of has something for everyone out there. Like none. I don't think there's any of the 2 parts that are so similar that they feel like they were unnecessary. I mean, hell, even parts 4 and 8 take place in the same location, but they still feel very different.
We'll get there in 10 years.
Oh, spoilers! Spoilers, Alex. I didn't know this.
That's literally not a spoiler. It's in all of the fucking advertisements for part 8.
I didn't know this.
Anyway, I think it's a good place to wrap this up. Thank you everyone for joining us on this ride. It's a very long journey through the JoJo parts. It was a lot of fun. I always love watching JoJo again. It's really fun going back and like just discovering more of these interviews with Araki was a blast for me personally.
Crossing my fingers for Netflix not to bungle part 7.
Let's hope. We can only hope. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up and go to bed?
Yeah, well, you're gonna go to bed. I'm not. JoJo's is pretty damn good. I have to assume that if you've made it this far, not only in this episode but in our JoJo Spoilercast series, that you have seen and or read JoJo's. If you have gotten this far and you haven't, wow, that's crazy.
That's an occasion right there.
Yeah, that in and of itself deserves a bit of a reward, I think. But I think it's very obvious doing these rewatches for JoJo's that I've done for every single part that we've done. Well, I guess I didn't rewatch all of part 4 or 5 when we did it, but I rewatched some episodes. It makes me appreciate JoJo's for what it is. It's a great shonen. I think it's definitely earned its place as one of the best shonen ever made. For a reason.
Yeah. It's a cultural milestone in human history.
I mean,
in
you
the
can
human
honestly
literature.
say that.
Yeah, I honestly,
because everything's a JoJo's reference.
Everything's a JoJo reference.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's outstripped its like Japanese roots. Like it's become part of like mainstream stuff outside. Like fucking who is it? Clint Eastwood knows what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, and that's wild.
Insane.
Which is wild. So, I'll pretty much what Alex said. Rewatching this, reading into it again, looking at the stuff that Araki and what's it called? The people who do this,
David
make
Production?
JoJo. Thank you, David. I don't know why.
I was gonna say
David
just
production.
weeaboos.
Yeah, weeaboos.
Fucking weeaboos.
Uh,
They do this.
the things that David Production has done for making it and the interviews they've given, like getting to do this and looking at everything overall has given me such a great picture of the overall process and appreciation for everyone who loves this franchise and just this art that we all love. And I appreciate it so much. I have such a fun time. This community's great. I love talking to fellow JoJo's fans and then sucking each other's dicks.
Of course. It was just a matter of time till someone would say it in this episode.
It's a great time. I love this series. It's so much fun. I honestly can't wait to read the manga. I really need to get into it because I know I'm gonna love that as well. I'm looking forward to part 7 and seeing where the adventure goes from here.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Also, throughout the process of us doing this, I just want to say shout out to the JoJo's Bizarre Encyclopedia team, the wiki. That is one of the best made fan wikis I've ever seen.
I use it so often for these.
We've used it a ton for these recordings. I know that Natai has been able to find so many like interviews and like articles that were like contemporary articles that were written years ago that are linked.
Southern
on
Translate
that.
as well. Yeah, it was a great resource. Would I recommend checking them out?
Y'all do a fantastic job. So if you are a JoJo's fan, whether you're getting into it for the first time or you're a longtime fan and you've never checked out this wiki online, it's fantastic.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I had a great time going through the JoJo parts with you guys. It was a lot of fun, and I'm super pumped for part 7, knowing almost nothing about it. So I'm super pumped for it. So yeah. So
All I'm saying is if Uma Musume can make $1 billion, this anime is going to have horses in it. Just saying.
Jesus Christ.
All the Uma Musume fans are coming in with this part.
Yep. We're turning all the Uma Musume fans into JoJo pros.
All right. So I think it's time to wrap this one up. So thank you everyone for dropping in to watch us. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, check down below for all the links that we have. Twitter, Discord, everything there. On Discord server, we're pretty active, and you can hang out with us and play games and talk shit about anime you like.
We did a watch party for JoJo's Part 6 in there.
Yep, it'll be great. We have a merch store down there as well with shirts, mugs, stickers, and more stuff if you want to show your love for Anime Club After Dark. And yeah, I think that's about it. So with that being said, I've been your host, Nitai, and we will see you guys next time. Say good night, everyone.
Made in heaven.
That's not goodbye. That's just like destroying the world, dude. That's not what I asked. I didn't ask for this. Goddamn, chill. Daddy, chill.
I was wearing my JoJo's pants for this.
Your pants? Oh, God, please don't
My
get
JoJo's
Pulling his cock out!
Oh my god.
Yeah, my JoJo's pants.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He's getting so close to his dick right now.
It's just that large,
Look, that's how JoJo's fans are, don't you know?
Large and in charge.
Oh, good night. I'm out.